an armchair economist. He's horrible. He's IMF conflicted. He's never managed risk in his life. He actually celebrates the downfall of countries like Lebanon and Turkey. He's a disgrace. The bigger picture is this. If they can successfully ring fence the risk that this bond is exposed to, and it's not exposed to the entire country, but only exposed to a city, you could make lots of arguments that this is a pretty exciting financial instrument. I'm not following it closely enough. I'll just tell you that 100 billion, excuse me, 1 billion is a very small amount in the context of $1 trillion Bitcoin valuation. Are there big whales out there that will turn around and trade some of their Bitcoin to get exposure to a bond that still has the Bitcoin optionality? They want to see El Salvador succeed, because if El Salvador succeeds, it increases the value of the entire Bitcoin ecosystem. I think it's a pretty neat experiment. Is it guaranteed to perform? No. Is it guaranteed to succeed? I haven't seen the progress, but I do know that this is pushing against a lot of the old underwriting rules in Wall Street and how new issues are brought to market. And it's twisting a lot of people out of shape, including the IMF, by the way, which is, like they're another organization that I have huge problems with in terms of, their continuous holding hostage of countries like El Salvador. But notwithstanding all these things, I think that this Bitcoin bond exercise with the Volcano, optionality and all that stuff in Bitcoin City is pretty exciting. And here's the neat thing that I love. El Salvador is creating a Bitcoin community. I know at least 10 people that are moving to El Salvador. Oh, yeah. And these people have money. These are not poor people that are moving there. This is good for their economy. Don't you understand how an economy works, you fucking idiots? Like IMF, go pound sand, okay? You're going to say, oh, we're not going to do. If you get enough rich people in the world moving to El Salvador, they solve their own problem.
Yep.
Okay, their GDP increases just because of that. Okay, let's put all of this aside and say, am I excited about this? Yes. Is it a risk that it doesn't succeed? Of course, like everything else. But I think if it's done properly and if the pre-marketing was done and everything like that, I think it should be a great result for the country of El Salvador and the investors as well. There's going to be a lot of people that don't have the ability to buy Bitcoin, but that do have the ability to buy a Bitcoin bond that'll say, hey, I should take some of that. Anyway, lots of, win-win scenarios for sure.
Got you. I love that. All right. So maybe let's bring a little bit of heat, only if you want to.
Okay, sir.
Let's talk about people like Peter Schiff, Stephen Key, Warren Buffett, and Charlie Munger. Why they don't get it?
Let's start with Peter Schiff. I've debated Peter on Peter Schiff on a Peter McCormick podcast. I've debated with him on Twitter.
I saw a meme of that. That was insane. At the start, I don't know if you saw the
Yeah, I saw it where I said, oh, I want this to be a friendly debate. And then 10 minutes later. Yeah. So, these guys, Bitcoin Twitter's hilarious. They 30 minutes later, and I call him out. I say, you're a horrible risk manager, because he is
so true.
He is a horrible risk manager. He understood the value add of Bitcoin. He understood that it could overtake his gold preference. And yet he did nothing to take insurance essentially out. Imagine if he had bought Bitcoin when it was at $10 a Bitcoin, and it's now up 1,000 times or 50,000 times. It's got not 50,000 times, 5,000 times. Okay. If he had only had 1% there in his gold portfolio, but it was up 5,000 times, that's 500. That's a 500% return on his total portfolio. His total portfolio would have been up 5 times.
And
even though the other 99% has basically done nothing because it's been poorly managed in his gold. So Peter Schiff is a bad risk manager, okay? But he understands it. He's just too stubborn and too stupid, and now continues to, call the kettle black and everything like that. He's a bad risk manager, and on that debate, he admitted it. He goes, I don't care.
Yeah.
What the fuck? I don't care? You're managing money for other people? I'll tell you what, if I ever told my clients I didn't care about their risk profile, they'd fire me on the spot. Okay.
Yeah.
Charlie Munger and Warren Buffett, pure and simple, are conflicted because they own so many bank stocks that they know Bitcoin's going to disintermediate their bank stocks. Charlie Munger called Bitcoin rat poison. And then Warren Buffett said, well, it's now rat poison squared. Guess what, you conflicted old fucks, okay? You're wrong. And it's very simple to see why you are talking that. If Bitcoin is rat poison, it's because fiat is the rat. Okay, very simply, you're a fiat guy and fiat is the rat. And yes, Bitcoin is the poison. Now, is Warren Buffett a good investor? He's been in the market a long time. Time in the market is more important than timing the market. He probably understands Bitcoin. He probably knows that he needs some. He's just talking his book that he built up over 90 years? Because that's how old he is. Don't get technology advice from 90-year-olds. That's the wrong thing to do, especially when they're conflicted because they hold things like Coca-Cola and American Express. Okay, American Express is toast. Okay, in a Bitcoin payment rail, American Express better do some work on how they charge merchant fees and all the like, okay? Here's a story. I'm a partner in 8 Irish pubs in Montreal, right? I think I've told you about that.
Yes.
Visa and MasterCard charge my pubs about 2.5% merchant fees. Every time somebody comes to the pub and pays their bill with a credit card, we have to pay 2.5% of the bill to the merchant, to the credit card company. Now, Irish pubs, we're pretty good operators, but Irish pubs and restaurants in general are tough businesses. And our total profit margin, ours is about 14%. Well, if it means that when someone comes out and takes a credit card payment to pay us, our profit margin goes from 14% down to 11.5%. Wow, that's painful. Yeah. Guess what credit card fees are in the third world? In El Salvador.
10%.
Attaboy, 8%. Holy shit. Okay. If people pay in Bitcoin, it's 1/10 of 1%.
That's robbery, 8-10%.
Okay, it is, but that's why Visa and MasterCard and American Express have made money.
Yeah.
And then we don't even have to talk about Western Union. And then who was the third guy? Oh, Steve Hawkey, pure and simple. The guy's an armchair economist. He's horrible. He's IMF conflicted. He's never managed risk in his life. He actually celebrates the downfall of countries like Lebanon and Turkey. He's a disgrace. And he goes to Johns Hopkins. And if I was a graduate of Johns Hopkins degrees, he doesn't go to Johns Hopkins, but he's a professor there. If I held a diploma from Johns Hopkins, I'd be insulted by his utter drivel.
Yeah, this guy is something else. I want to say that, I'm pretty sure you have said it in other interview. I have a lot of respect for Peter Schiff and all these other guys, but after their opinion, you might have a little bit less respect because they don't have respect for their client and all that.
Yes.
But
yes.
I just wanted to point out that it's all respectful and we just
well, sometimes it is, but you can't outright call for the demise of a country and ethically, and that's what Steve Hawkey is doing.
No, the last one, I don't respect that guy really. I don't really.
No, it's actually disgraceful. I'm wondering whether he's all there, right? Like in his head, does he understand the evilness that he's spewing? Because it's pure evil.
Yeah.
He wants other people to suffer at the expense of his hegemony, the US dollar. Okay.